Let's see here. Pretty sure I'm live. Good morning, guys. Bill Soriano from Pittsburgh going live in my Impulse Smart Impulse Trading Academy group. So today we're going to go over the weekly outlook and alert setup for this coming week, the week of March 24th. But before I actually get into that, I do have the Impulse Smart Money Concepts strategy what do I want to call it, process sheet ready to go for you. And I have that link to the Google document so that once you have that link, you'll be able to access it. And if I make any changes to it, you'll have the changes instantly when you pull that link up. So apologize for my voice. I got a little sick over the weekend here, and so a little bit of hoarse, but I'm going to try to get through this process here. Because I want to show you the 11 trades that we've won so far in the past 3 weeks using this strategy. We're 11-0 right now. Obviously, no strategy wins every trade, and so we're probably due for some losses here coming up in the following weeks. But right now we are 11-0 using this strategy that I'm going to outline for you today. Okay, so like I said before, I get into the actual weekly outlook and alert setup, where I'm going to actually show you where you're going to set your alerts on the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to show you what pairs you're going to look to trade this week and where to set your alerts on the 4-hour time frame. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to do this yourself once you become a customer of our community, because you need our Impulse scanner, which is one of 8 scanners that we give you when you join us. You need the Impulse scanner in order to identify which pairs to trade and which direction to trade them in. That is the most important part of any strategy, because that is what takes most beginners and intermediates a long time to do every week, and also what they make mistakes in doing when they do their top-down analysis. So that's why the Impulse scanner is so important, and you do have to be a customer of our community to get that. But for the next few weeks here, I'm going to be identifying these alerts on the 4-hour time frame and which pairs to trade for you. Okay, but only for the next few weeks, guys. So let me just share my screen here so that we can get on with this here. And so what we have here is here's the Impulse Smart Money Concept Strategy process sheet right here. So it's very detailed for you, telling you exactly what to do and in what order to do it. But like I said, the first thing is you need to have the Impulse scanner in order to do this. Now, for those of you watching this in the group here that don't have you're not a customer of our community, you don't have the Impulse scanner yet, that's okay, because for the next few weeks, I'm going to be showing you which pairs to trade, which direction to trade them in, and I'm going to identify the 4-hour point of interest for you so that you could set those alerts in your trading view charts. Okay. The one thing is, though, if you have TradingView, if you have a free account, you're not going to be able to set more than one alert. So you have to have a paid account in TradingView to be able to set multiple alerts. If you don't have a TradingView account yet, let me know, and I'll send you the link to that so you can get a special deal. But also remember that when you're ready to join our community to get access to the Impulse scanner and everything else we have, all the live training, I have a 50-50 bonus right now where you're going to get $50 back from me, a $50 rebate for me 10 days after you join, right? And then when you make your first monthly payment 28 days after you join, you're going to get another $50 back from me. In addition to that, I have a way for you to get $200 cash back using a credit card with 0% interest for 14 months. You're obviously not going to hold a balance on this credit card. You're just going to use it to make your monthly payments so that you can get $200 cash back, which will ultimately give you a free month of training as well with us. So you get my 50-50 bonus plus a way to get $200 cash back. Okay, so first of all, let's go over the 11 trades here that we've won the last 3 weeks. Now, I wasn't able to take these trades, they went off this week. The trades went off outside of my trading window. I own a restaurant, so I'm there during the day, so I can only take trades during the Asian session. And with this strategy, you have to be at your charts. You're doing market execution orders. You're not doing limit orders. So I can't take trades unless they go off during the Asian session. I have a brand new funded account challenge that I just purchased last week to take the trades with, but I haven't been able to take any. But these trades, I still keep track of the trades, whether or not I'm able to take them or not. And these are all the trades that went off, and all 11 of them won. Now, if you're in the United States and you want to take a challenge, you're going to have to switch out of MT4, MT5 because as your trading platform, because most of these companies that do the funded challenges don't offer that anymore. I have to use DX trading platform for the challenge, and right now through the funded trader, you're not able to download the platform onto your phone or laptop like you do with MT4 and MT5. It's a web-based version that you have to use. So no big deal though. It's very easy to use, and you're only using DX Trade to actually take the trade. You're still doing all your analysis, all your alerts, everything else in TradingView. So let's just look at these trades here real fast. I don't want to spend a lot of time on them. You're going to see here where the whole moving average, that's this line right here, turns from bearish to bullish right here, telling us to take the trade. And these are all 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio trades. So if you're risking 1% of your trading account, you're making a 2% gain. If you're risking 2% of your trading account, you're risking a 4% gain. Really, there's no reason for you ever to risk more than 2% of your trading account unless you're a very advanced trader and you're already profitable, earning 6 figures trading. Then you could risk 3, 4, 5% of your trading account. But for most of us, 1 to 2% is plenty, especially if you're doing a funded challenge. Okay, I'm just going to scroll through these. The next one here, you can see right here, and the trigger is always applied on the 15-minute chart, which I'm going to tell you that's where we take the trade. Again, here's the whole moving average turning from bullish to bearish, taking that trade there. Same thing here in EUR GBP, turns from bullish to bearish right there. This is EUR USD, where it turns from bearish to bullish, and you take the trade. This is GBP AUD, where it turns from bearish to bullish. Take the trade. This one was a little bit longer. We were in this trade a little bit longer. This one is GBP CHF, right? GBP CHF. Yes. Here's where it turns from bearish to bullish, and we're in that trade. You could see that in most cases, we're not in these trades. These are intraday trades, right? We're not in them. Sometimes we're in and out the same day. Sometimes it's the next day. Sometimes the day after. In any event, we always exit our trades Friday. We don't hold any trades over the weekend. And so on Friday around 3 p.m. Eastern time, we would want to exit any trades, regardless of whether we were in profit or not. Before, so we don't hold them over the weekend. This is GBP NZD. Here is where the whole moving average turns from bearish to bullish, and you take that trade. This is GBP USD. Again, turns from bearish to bullish right here. Take that trade, goes into drawdown, but then straight up and into profit. Okay, this one here, NZD CAD, you see it turn right here. There was a little spot where the whole moving average turned from bearish to bullish just for a little while, but you would have gotten in that trade right there because that's where you got the trigger. And then it did turn back and go in the drawdown, but then it went right up for profit. And USD CAD right here. I think I've scrolled through all of them here. This is EUR AUD. I think this was the last one here. It turns from bearish to bullish right here, and you're in that trade. So They're right here on my timeline, guys, and they're also in the group, the Impulse Smart Money Trading Academy group. So I'll put a link to my timeline and also to the group in this. Well, you already be in the group, but I also put if you're watching this video, you're in the group, but I may also post it on my timeline later on as well. So if you're watching it there, I'll post a link to the group. If you're watching in the group, I'll post a link to my timeline, and I'll also put the link to this Impulse Smart Money Concept Strategy Process Sheet right here. Okay, so let's get on to which pairs we're going to look to trade this week. Now, remember, step one here is to scan the Forex pairs where the 15-minute looking, right, scan for Forex pairs where the 15-minute through the daily time frames are all synchronized, right? They're trending in the same direction, okay? So now every week we do this, and once we find those pairs, we highlight them there here in the Impulse Scanner. So again, now, once they're highlighted, this is important. Once pairs are verified, you flag them for trading in TradingView, and you follow the TradingView method below here, which is down here. What's important is the pairs will stay flagged for trading in TradingView until the 4-hour and the daily time frames are no longer synced. Once this happens, they're unflagged, and then they need to complete step one again to be re-verified, okay? So essentially, in order for the pairs to be verified, right, you have to have the 15-minute through the daily going all the same way, okay? You disregard the 1 minute and the 5 minute. You don't need them for this strategy. Our community does have strategies where you use them for scalping. This is not a scalping strategy. It's more of an intraday strategy. So you don't need to worry about them. Okay, now again, once the pairs are verified, where the 15-minute through the daily are all synchronized, you flag them in TradingView. You can see we have these pairs flagged here. We flag them. I flag them with a green flag, and then once a trade happens, I flag them with either or once the alert is hit and we drop down to the 15-minute to wait for a trade, I've then flagged them with either a blue or a red flag, whether it's bullish or bearish, okay? But the first step is using the Impulse Scanner to identify which pairs to trade and which pairs in which direction to trade them in. We always want to trade with that trend, not against it. Now, they stay on here, like we said, they stay flagged in TradingView until the 4-hour and the daily are no longer in sync. Like you could see here with this pair that I have up right now, NZDJPY. See how the 4-hour and the daily are no longer in sync. So that pair would have been unflagged. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into TradingView now. And I've already done this, so we know which pairs are flagged, right? And then any pairs that where the 4-hour and the daily no longer synced, right? I go through the scanner every day, basically, guys. And if I come across a pair that's flagged for trading in TradingView, and I see that the 4-hour and the daily are no longer in sync, like this pair right here, right? Then I remove the flag from TradingView, and that pair is we're no longer looking to trade that pair until such a time that the 15-minute through the daily are synced again, okay? And that's right on this impulse sheet here. That's the very first thing, step one, step two, and then what the result is. The pairs, right? Step one is to scan for Forex pairs where the 15-minute through the daily time frames are all synchronized. Step two is once these pairs are verified, you flag them for trading in TradingView and follow the TradingView method below. Now, we're not going to go over the TradingView method below here. We are going to identify the 4-hour order block, right? So that is part of the TradingView method here. So we're going to identify the 4-hour order block. I'm going to show you where to put your alert on the 4-hour chart. So basically, I'm going to show you which pairs to trade this week, which pairs to look to trade, and I'm going to show you where to set your alerts on the 4-hour time frame. Now, you'll eventually learn to do this yourself using the Impulse Scanner, but this is for those of you that aren't in the community yet, okay? Okay, so these are the pairs now that are flagged for trading, okay? So let's start with AUD USD. I'm sorry, AUD JPY. So right here, we're on the 4-hour time frame now, and we're using the Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo indicator, right? That's right here in the method. Identify a valid 4-hour order block using Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo to assist, right? A valid order blocks, you should see a liquidity sweep most times, and then a strong move that leads to a break of structure and leads a fair value gap or imbalance, okay? Once you identify a 4-hour order block, you place a 50% point of interest alert. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you where that is on the chart. You also identify any other fair value gaps or order blocks above or below the one identified. Okay, this should say one. Once price hits that 50% point of interest alert, you drop down to the 15-minute chart and wait for the trigger to take the trade. So we're not going to worry about that part today, but we are going to identify the order blocks. So right here, we see some imbalance. This Lux Algo, Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo indicator that is free on TradingView, right? It's right here. It's in my favorites. Smart Money Concepts Lux Algo 38348, right? Okay, so it's right in here for free. I'm going to do a video later today showing you my settings for this. Okay, so we're only looking for bullish trades here in AUD USD because that is the way that the trend is going when we look at the impulse scanner. Okay. Now, again, this pair was already identified for trading, so you could see the 15-minute has flipped, but that's okay as long as the 4-hour and the daily are still there or still synced. Okay. Now, so the order block is down here. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to set an alert, but also you want to see that there is some imbalance. Imbalance here is shaded for you using this indicator, and the order block is shaded. Now, it will also give you order blocks going the other way sometimes, right? But you don't want to concern yourself with them. We want to stay with the trend. Okay. You have some other order blocks down below here that price may move into, right? And that is why we like to set these alerts at the 50% point of interest. And you can either eyeball this, right? Just like this, right? Or you could grab the parallel channel tool, put it on here, right? Once you get it level, right? You double click it, then you drag it, and it'll give you a dotted line at the 50% point. And so that's essentially what I've done here with this alert here. And you can see over here in the sidebar, this alert is set at, let's see, 97.395. Okay. So that's how you identify. Let me just see something here real fast. Just remove all the drawings here. Let me see something. So what I want to do is I want to identify this order block. And I want to put the alert, right? I want to set the alert at the 50% point. Okay. And so right there is where I'm going to set the alert. And you just set it for only once. Now, like I said, the way to identify the 50% point, if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to just estimate it, is to use this parallel channel tool right down here. Okay, I believe it's over here in the side, but I have it in my favorites right here. Now, So there's the point of interest, 97.416 for AUD and you put that on the 4-hour chart. And if you're using this indicator here, it'll automatically show you these order blocks here, and you just highlight the order block like I showed you, and you put your alert right at the 50% point, okay? That way, when you drop down to the 15-minute, you'll be able to see that order block and that alert, because you don't want this order block to be invalidated with a close outside of it, down below it, unless, of course, there's some imbalance, which there is right here, that could be filled, or there's another order block down below that it moves into. Okay, that's very important. And I show you this during the week as the trades go off. So if I use the parallel trading, if I use the parallel tool here to do this, then what happens is, let me see. Okay, so I could do that. So there's the alert right there at the halfway point at 97.416. The next one is AUD NZD. And again, you could see we're trading this bullish, right? It's giving us this order block right here, which is already identified, right? You can see all these imbalances, all these fair value gaps here that need to be filled. If you don't know what imbalance is, you don't know what break of structure is and all that other stuff, then you need to get my free 9-part Smart Money Concepts course. So if you're struggling with these terms I'm using, like break of structure, imbalance, fair value gap, liquidity sweep, order block, point of interest, then make sure you get that. Send me a message. So I send you the link to register for that. That's free. Just gives you one video a day for 9 days. So there we have a 50% alert set at 1.07712. You could see that over here highlighted in blue. Okay, the next one is CADJPY, right? Again, these order blocks are already identified because these were pairs from last week or the week before, okay? And so then what happens is if you get a new break of structure during the week, I'll come on here and I'll do some update videos during the week. You'll see them in the group here from last week. And if you get a new break of structure to the upside here, then what will happen is that will identify a new order block for us, okay? And then we'll then move our point of interest to 50% of that new order block during the week. But right now, this is what you're looking at for the week. CADJPY 109.494. You see that right over here in the right-hand side, highlighted in blue, right? 109.494. Okay, the next pair is EURAUD. This was a pair where we had a winning trade last week. And so what happened is now this is still flagged. However, we need a new break of structure to the upside here before we can identify a new order block to trade from. Okay. So we'll watch this during the week to see what happens. Now it may break to the downside and the trend may change on it, right? Could break to the downside, the trend may change, and then we may start looking for sells. Okay, but right now we can't really identify an order block because we need a new break of structure. So what I do a lot of times is I'll put a red line up here, and this is a break of structure alert for me. And I'll name it BOS, so I know that it's a break of structure alert, and it's not a alert where a trade is coming up, right? This just tells me that I now can set I could set a point of interest alert inside of a new 4-hour order block, because these order blocks here are no longer valid, okay? EURCHF, you can see here that we have an order block here. Now see, this is one where we got a new break of structure to the upside. And so now we have another order block identified right here. We have a little bit of imbalance, fair value gap, a bigger one here that's getting filled right here. So if we now take our parallel channel tool and we move it up to here, Okay, that was the wrong thing there. So you first get that thing level, then you click it, then you drag it. Okay, and then here's where we're going to set our alert right on that dash line there, right at about that 50% mark of that order block. Okay, and that is going to be at 0.96346 right there. So that's where you set your alert in trading view. Let's move that to a little bit, should be a little bit lower here. 0.96333. Okay, now it's important to remember there's another order block right down below it, and also this one down here as well. Okay. We're going to remove the alert from this one, however. And so, price, this is why we like to set these alerts at the 50% point of this order block. Sometimes price just hits the order block and then reacts off it. You'll miss those trades, okay? But by putting it at 50%, you're going to keep yourself out of some losing trades where price is moving down through one order block and into another one. Okay, I have some examples of that in some videos in the group where that would have actually happened, where if you set the alert right at the beginning of the order block, you would have lost a trade. But by waiting and setting the alert at the halfway point, you're triggered it go off and price moved into the lower order block. Okay. Now, again, if it invalidates the one order block, moves into the next one, that's okay. As long as, again, before you take any trade, let me just show you something here. Before placing a trade, always check the impulse scanner to make certain that the 4-hour and the daily time frames are still in sync and in the direction of the trade. Okay. So sometimes what happens is price moves so far in the other direction that the 4-hour also flips. And so the 4-hour and the daily are no longer in sync. So you don't want to take those trades now. You want to wait for a situation where all the time frames line up again, and then you can put that trade flag that trade for trading and trading view. Okay, so EURJPY is another one. We have this order block identified down here, right? And this point of interest alert at 161.426 right here. EURNZD. Okay, we have this order block here, but we're going to get some new ones. Okay, so we're going to grab our parallel tool. We're going to grab this order block right here. Try to get that level. Didn't quite get it level. This is why I like to do this freehand, because it's a little bit hard to use this tool. Okay, and then let's set our alert right here at that 50%. And so our alert is set at 1.79190 in EURNZD. Now, again, we have an order block right below it. We still have this order block down here, but we're going to remove that alert. Okay, GBP CHF is next. Okay, we have an order block up here. We're going to get rid of this alert down here. And we're going to grab our parallel tool. Just drag that. So what we're going to do here is, because these two are kind of overlapping, so what I'll do sometimes is I'll just highlight both of them, because they're really overlapping here, right? Okay. This order block down below here really hasn't been mitigated yet, because there wasn't a break of structure when price moved into it. So it's still a valid order block. And then, of course, the new one's valid when you get the new break of structure and you see this imbalance right here. So let's set our alert right there. We're going to put that at the midpoint of both of them combined, right? And that's going to be at 1.12591, right? 1.12591. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's definitely it. And let's see, maybe it's going to be 1.12599. Okay. Right around there. Okay. And so that's GBP CHF. Now, so what I'm doing for you guys here, just if you're catching this late is I'm identifying the 4-hour order block. I'm identifying the pairs that you want to look to trade this week because the impulse scanner told us that the time frames were synchronized in one direction. And so they were the pairs that we wanted to watch. Okay. And I am identifying the 4-hour order block for you and where to put your point of interest alert. Okay. And then once that alert gets hit, we drop down the 15-minute chart, wait for our trigger to go off, take the trade. Okay. And like I said earlier, we have 11 winning trades in the past 3 weeks using this strategy, no losses. Okay. So it's been working very well for us. And I'm telling you where to set your point of interest alerts. Now I'm telling you which pairs to trade, where to set your alerts. But again, eventually you'll need to become a customer of our community and get the impulse scanner yourself to do this. Okay, so let's look at this now. Let's just remove our drawings here. We have like a few order blocks that are kind of all lumped together here, right? And consequently, none of them have really been mitigated. So again, this could be a situation where, and again, if you don't know what mitigated is, you have to get my 9-part Smart Money Concepts course. It's free. So I'm just gonna do the whole thing. And I'm gonna put the alert at the middle of all of those order blocks like that. And that's going to be at 188.606 for GBP JPY. Okay, GBP NZD is next. Let me just make sure I'm saving this here from time to time. Okay, so here again, let's just see what we got here. So we had a new break of structure to the upside. And look how this order block, see how price came just into it and then reacted off of it. So we wouldn't have taken a trade there because we're going to look for, again, we're going to grab our tool, that straight, pull that down. We want this 50% point to get hit right here. Okay, so we're looking for 2.09075 in GBP NZD. Okay, GBP USD. This was one where we had a winning trade, and then price has now gone the other way. This was one of our winning trades from last week. That's why I still have the trading tool there. The price has gone the other way. Now, when we looked at the impulse scanner, GBP USD, see how the 4-hour and the daily are no longer synced, okay? Remember, in order for the pair to initially get on the watch list, the 15-minute through the daily has to sync, okay? Once that happens and we identify our 4-hour order blocks, then it just needs to be the 4-hour and the daily that stay in sync. And you can see that's no longer in sync, okay? So that's going to tell us to remove this now. Okay, we've already taken a picture of this winning trade, so we're not worried about that. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to remove all the drawings and we're just going to unflag that pair. So no longer watch that pair. Now what has to happen is, now what's going to have to happen is for us to take a trade in GBP USD, this daily time frame is going to have to sync with all the other ones, right? The 15-minute through the daily, and then we'd be looking to trade the other way, right? So we had a winning bullish trade here, but now the direction has changed, okay? NZD Chef is the next one. And NZD Chef here is one where we had a winning trade, okay? We got a new break of structure, okay? And so we now have another order block identified here. And as you can see here, this alert has already been hit. Okay, so 50% of that order block has already been hit. Let me just shut that off for a second so you could see this. Here was our winning trade. After we got out of our winning trade, price dropped back down, broke structure to the upside, right? and then came back to this new 4-hour order block right here. Okay. And this new 4-hour order block, let me just remove everything here, is actually right here. But price has not hit the 50% point yet, right? Okay. So we want to draw our, see, we want to draw our tool right here. And then we're going to put our alert at that 50% point. Okay. So our alert is at 0.53666 for NZD Chef. Okay, prices moved into that order block, but it did not hit the 50% point of interest alert that we're going to have set. Okay, so the next one's NZD USD. Okay, as you can see here with NZD USD, we had a break of structure to the downside. Let's just verify something here. We're obviously all bearish. You can see that all the time frames are still synced there in NZD USD. And so this is our new order block right here. We see a break of structure, right? We got a little bit of a liquidity grab with this wick here, right? We got a strong move down, causes a break of structure and leaves fair value gaps or imbalance, right? That's all the traits of a good order block. So we're going to put our parallel channel tool right there. Drag it down a little bit too far. And then we're going to put the point of interest alert right here. So that's at 0.60941. Okay. So this one here, we're going to remove that alert, right? We're also going to remove this. Okay. So this is our new order block. Now we do have some imbalance here, and we do have order blocks up above here. Okay. So, that's important to keep in mind here. So you see how this imbalance goes all the way to here. So price could invalidate this order block as long as it doesn't go completely through this imbalance here. We could still take a trade if our trigger goes off on the 15-minute. Okay. But more than likely what will happen is, price will make a move up into this order block, something like this, then it will probably go through it. And we'll probably get a situation where it goes up into here even before it does make its big move down, right? Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at there, but the alert is set at 0.60941. USD CAD, we had a winning trade in USD CAD this week. Okay. And so we don't want to trade from this order block again, right? Because we already traded from it once. And so what we need is we need a break of structure to the upside. So we're going to set a break of structure alert right here, right? And that is at 1.36289. And so once that gets hit, that's a break of structure alert. So that tells you that you'll be able to identify a new 4-hour order block to trade from, and you'll be able to put an alert at your 4-hour point of interest. And the last one is USD JPY here. This one, we have this order block right here identified. It's a very little order block as well. There is some imbalance here, right? We didn't get a very good liquidity grab here, but we did get a strong move up, led to a break of structure and imbalance, right? Left fair value gaps behind. So that's kind of where our point of interest alert is at 149.072. And I just kind of put that in there. I just kind of estimated it in there. But let me just go ahead and highlight that order block, okay? That way, when we drop down to the 15-minute, once it gets hit, we'll be able to see it, right? So that's it, guys. Okay, I went through here. This is the Impulse Smart Money Concept Strategy process sheet here. Okay, again, you scan for Forex pairs where the 15-minute through the daily time frames are all synchronized. Once those are verified, you flag them for trading and trading view. That's what I just did with you. The pairs stay flagged for trading and trading view until the 4-hour daily time frames are no longer synced. Once this happens, they're unflagged and they need to complete step 1 again. Now, once we have verified them, we go into trading view, we identify a valid 4-hour order block, right? Once we identify that 4-hour order block, we place a 50% point of interest alert. That's what I did for you today, guys, right? We also identify any other fair value gaps order blocks above or below the one identified. And once price hits that 50% point of interest alert, drop down to the 15-minute chart, wait for the trigger to take the trade, right? So there you have it. So after watching this video here, go through it, watch it again. You should be able to go into trading view, and you'll know which pairs you want to trade this week, which direction you want to trade them in, and where to set your 4-hour point of interest alert and wait for that to get hit. So again, any questions, drop them down below. If you're ready to get started, get with me so you can get my 50-50 bonus. Plus, I show you how to get another $200 bonus using a credit card with 0% interest for 14 months. And we'll take it from there, guys. Have a great day.